Greetings, programs. Old Hanker Infernail here, your buddy from Dungeons&Dragons and Runehammer Games. Check me out on Facebook and YouTube if you have the time or the inclination. Well, we're back once again. It's the Lyrical Master coming at you with Index Card RPG Volume 2. Nice to have you. If you really want to see a bulk of yammering and pointless, aimless talking about the awesomeness of Index Card RPG, watch the other video. This is just for Volume 2. I just wanted to highlight a few of the fun features that you guys helped me get into the cards and how great they turned out. First of all, the two-cut system. So before I was using a straight edge and we were doing a lot of cuts and making them real tight, and I realized, why do they even have to be 3x5 exactly? That doesn't make any sense. Then the idea came up of just do 2 lines on the thing and you just do 2 fast cuts. Pow, you get 4 cards. You're not making all these margin cuts. All your cards wind up exactly the same size without measuring or anything. It's great. Woo! But the most exciting thing about Volume 2 of Index Card RPG is that the content has been driven directly by you guys, the people who are bringing it to your table. Now, in particular, one thing that unanimously outshone other ideas was the request to have something like a town building set of cards in Volume 2. And that would include buildings which are archetypal buildings, like a blacksmith and a mage shop and a hermit's hut, and all these components that we may or may not want to admit it, but we need over and over in our games, because it's a big part of the game. You almost never use terrain to portray unless you have a battle that's going to unfold there, right? But you don't want to have nothing, because that can feel weird, especially if you're an awesome craft DM. To have a complete section of gameplay where there's no visual at all can feel odd. So I think everybody was wanting some tools to make a cool town that can visually, have markers on it. Like you've got your minis, and I'm at the Mage Tower, I'm at the center of town, I'm here. Maybe a fight breaks out in town or something. You just need a zone-based system to understand town. So, woof, that was a mouthful of an intro. In ICRPG Volume 2, you get at least the start of lots of pieces, and this is just as many as I felt comfy fitting on my table here. There's actually a bunch more to build towns, and actually, as these two, there's city cards right here. It's a whole city. So you could have a group of players in one city and a group of players in another city, and your flow chart can kind of explode out of here. I've noticed playtesting ICRPG, it does feel a lot like sort of making a flow chart, especially if you play right out of your card box, or you're improvising, as I've heard a lot of people talking about. You're just kind of pulling cards and creating story as you go. It feels a lot like a node-based flow chart, and that's a good thing. That's how town should feel, not some big aimless ocean of options. I've got my woods outside of town here, and my hermit's hut. Then I've got my watchtower. I've got 2 guard towers on either side of the city gate. And these are just paper printouts. I didn't get the good cardstock printouts because I realized, A, a lot of people probably just want to print them right at home, and B, it's pretty cool printing them at home because you can print up zillions of copies of whatever page you're going to need a bunch of copies of. Here's where your city gate is, and like, hey, halt there, you rash of brigands. Be out of our town. Westbrook has no time for the likes of you. Oh. Here's town itself, town proper. So town proper, in Westburg at least, has your blacksmith, your mage tower, which is kind of like the center of town. Like here's the sort of central causeway. Then you've got your average house. Like I could see printing out like 10 of these cards and having, if you're into that kind of thing, it could be like a little Final Fantasy town where you go in each one and there's a clue in each one and so on and so forth. Then I have my haunted mansion. So you could probably see, just knowing how to run your table, because you guys are all awesome dungeon masters aspiring to be even mo badass, how useful this could be, even if you're only going to use 2 or 3 of these, just to give some mental reference for what's going to go on in town and what the important parts of town are. Not just, you're in a town. This brings us to our second piece. Don't wave your paintbrush at me, Hanker Infernail. This brings us to our second piece, which is the NPCs, a critical part of any good town experience. You're in town with your players. They're moving from one merchant to the next, or they're engaging in fascinating storylines. So Volume 2 is going to come with a bunch of NPC cards. I mean, they could be anything, but you guys specifically requested NPC cards. Now, one funny thing about ICRPG is the minute you have like 15 or 20 of a thing, you kind of want 20 more. But you will have a starting kit of NPCs. And so here's just a few of them. I think there's about 6 more in my box over there, but I just pulled these out at random. So you've got like a priest, you've got the queen, maybe the queen's over at the blacksmith. You got this shady merchant guy, he's over here. Here's the city guard, he's down here. Here's like an innkeeper, sort of beer wench, she's awesome. The king, and your dwarf is like old Tom, he's like the blacksmith and stuff. So these maybe live on cards. Maybe you have them sort of up here, you have them in front of your DM screen, like to remind people, who you're interacting with or who's important, whatever. But look, you're gonna get all this, it's cool. And if you're using ICRPG as a story building tool, which is like sort of drawing cards and then working in your DM's book to kind of come up with your next session, these guys might help to break some gears loose in the old noggin about maybe 1 or 2 key characters in a storyline, rather than just confronting the void of like, who's in this storyline and who's an NPC, and I think I'm just gonna go make a sandwich. What was I saying? Give me my index cards. Give me my index cards. I'm gonna make an adventure. Pow! Tell his story and your creative session is underway. Okay, that's it for now. I just wanted to make a quick video. I hope you guys like ICRPG Volume 2. Stay tuned, because next up is the Index Card RPG Core Rule Book. Or, wait a minute.
ICRPG Core Set.
ICRPG is not just a set of assets, it is a game design. There's a whole game that's gonna make zone-style play come to your table with your beloved 7 polyhedrals like you're used to, but it's a simplified, fast, awesome game. Thanks big time to everybody who posted up card suggestions on the Drunkards and Dragons Facebook page. If you're watching this video and you haven't subbed over there on the Drunkards and Dragons Facebook, that's really where the community happens around Runehammer games, and it's awesome. So thanks a lot, everybody, for all the suggestions and all the enthusiasm. Let's get into this stuff and make it awesome. Let's just climb